What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm taking you on a trip way back. We're rewinding the clock to 2010. The place, a legendary little spot in Sandusky, Ohio, called the Underground. This wasn't just another night or another show. This was a turning point, a moment that proved everything I was working for was real. Think about it. 2010. Mims was running the airwaves. This Is Why I'm Hot wasn't just a song. It was an anthem, a global phenomenon. And on this one night, in my own backyard, I got the call to open for him. The posters were up all over town, his name in huge letters, and right underneath, in tiny print, was mine. Back then, I was just a local kid, the underdog nobody really expected to make waves. But I knew this was my shot. Walking into the Underground that night, man, you could feel the history. The floors were sticky. The bass from the sound check was already vibrating through the walls. And the air was thick with that unmistakable mix of anticipation and old beer. It was perfect. I remember seeing the Mims posters plastered everywhere, and it hit me this was the real deal. This wasn't an open mic night. This was a national artist tour stop, and I was on the bill. The pressure was on, but so was the adrenaline. I found my little corner backstage, which was really just a dimly lit storage area. It smelled like stale coffee and nervous energy, my own, mostly. I was just trying to get my head right, running through lyrics, picturing the set. A sound guy poked his head in, gave me a quick look, and just said, "You ready?" He didn't even wait for an answer. He just knew it was time to go. That was my cue. The door to the stage creaked open, and this blast of light and sound just washed over me. It was Tom. Stepping onto that stage was like walking into another world. The spotlight hits you, and for a second, everything else just disappears. The crowd was kind of scattered, half paying attention, sipping their drinks, waiting for the main event. They didn't know me. They had no reason to care. And that's the challenge, right? To make them care. The beat dropped, and I just locked in. I knew I couldn't come out with the same stuff everyone else was doing. I wasn't rapping about what was popular. I was rapping about my life, my struggles, my city. I was giving them something real. By the second or third song, I could see a change. Heads started nodding. People were putting their drinks down and actually turning towards the stage. Then, someone from the crowd yelled out, "Yo, where are you from, man?" That was it. That was the connection. I just grinned, pointed out into the crowd, and launched right into the next verse with even more energy. Suddenly, it wasn't just me performing at them. It was us, in this moment together. I could see the energy building, faces lighting up, hands starting to go up. I looked up at the balcony, and I saw Mims' crew, the tour guys, watching me. They weren't on their phones. They were locked in, nodding along. That was a huge sign of respect. In that moment, I wasn't just the local opener anymore. I had their attention. I poured every last bit of energy I had into the final song, and when it ended, the place erupted. The applause was real. It wasn't polite. It was earned. Coming off that stage, I was drenched in sweat, completely out of breath, but flying high. My heart was pounding. As I was grabbing a towel, Mims himself walked past me on his way to the stage. He stopped, looked me in the eye, and gave me a dub. He just said, "You held it down, man." That was it. Just 5 words. But coming from him, on that night, it meant everything. It wasn't some flashy compliment. It was real, genuine respect from an artist at the top of his game. That one little moment validated the entire night, the entire struggle. Then, Mims hit the stage, and the whole room just exploded. It went from 100 to 1,000 in seconds. He dropped the beat for This Is Why I'm Hot, and it was pandemonium. Every single person, from the front to the back, had their hands in the air, shouting every word. The energy was incredible. I was standing in the middle of the crowd, no longer an artist, just a fan, soaking it all in. Seeing that level of connection, that power a single song could have over a room full of people, it was inspiring. It showed me the level I wanted to reach. I wasn't just watching a performance. I was watching the dream, live, and in person. After the show ended and the lights came up, the magic was over. The venue emptied out, and we were all back on the quiet streets of Sandusky. My friends and I didn't want the night to end, so we took a walk down to the lakefront. I remember just staring out at the water, seeing the lights from Cedar Point's Ferris wheel reflecting on the surface. We just talked for hours about where we came from and, more importantly, where we were going. That night didn't get me a record deal. It didn't make me famous overnight. But what it did was so much more important. It gave me belief. It was concrete proof that my voice, my story, had a place. It proved that I could stand on a big stage and not only hold my own, but connect with people who had never heard of me. They called the venue the Underground, but for me, that was the night I finally felt like I broke through to the surface. It was the moment I knew, without a doubt, that this music thing was real, and I was never going to stop. That's the story of that night, a little piece of my history that set the stage for everything that came after. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me share this with you. If you felt that story, make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. We've got a lot more to come. Peace.